What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the MarbleCast. We got a great episode for you. We got one of our members here, Jeff Hickey. He's been with us here for about 2.5 years. He's been crushing it. He basically pushes the tempo every day of every workout, and he's been seeing some awesome results. So I want to introduce you to him in this episode. So we hope you enjoy it. Let's check it out.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, dude. You know, Wednesday.
Very hot in my office. I've
Is it
been
really?
almost an hour and a half now.
Jeez, dude. I was gonna say you're right there by the windows anyway. So
Yeah, the windows are pretty terrible because the sun just beats down like a magnifying glass.
yeah,
And then the HVAC system doesn't work so good. But, you know, it's like a built-in sauna.
it's all right. In time, it'll all get fixed up. That's all.
Yeah. The goal is to turn that Ashley's room into like a recovery room.
Yep.
And actually put a sauna in there.
Oh, that's nice.
And then turn the changing room area into the massage room. And then put all the cubbies in the front for everybody to put their shit.
Gotcha.
But that's a lot of work, and I don't want to do it. So that's why it's not getting done right away. I'm being honest.
You're making your own honey-do list. Come on, what are you doing?
I just look at it and I go, yeah, I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
so how long have you been here at the Marble Strength?
Come on, Joe. Didn't we go over these questions already? We've done this before.
I
No,
we're gonna go over it again.
You're all good. I was gonna say, February of 21 was when I joined, so a little over 2 years now.
Let's see. I'm checking the webs now. Yep, February 22nd, 2021. So we've been here almost 2 years, man. How you digging it so far as we've transitioned away from CrossFit and into Marble Strength?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit more approachable. I think it's more fun. I feel like the CrossFit brings the stigma of this aggressive, right? Like, which is fun. Like, there's the regime to it, but again, you could still do that in more of a high intensity interval training, like throwing the weightlifting and everything like you're doing. So I'm all for it. I like the change. I think it's a good change, and I think you shifted away from that in a successful way because you're not focusing on just the basic core Olympic lifts. You're working on a combination of everything, right? The bodybuilding, the mobility, the flexibility, the body weight stuff, the powerlifting, and kind of pulling it all together nicely.
Yeah, and I think it's really working well for you and everybody else. Like, first of all, you've been doing awesome. Like, you've set the bar essentially every time you come in with the strength movements. A lot of people are like, oh, what Jeff do today? Or with the workouts in general. Like, you've been doing really well. And I think the last InBody scan, you were like at 12% body fat or something like that.
No, don't give me that much credit. I think it was only like 15.
Was it? All right. Well, it was still really good either way. Definitely less than whatever I'm carrying over here. My fluffy. But
I was traveling 2 weeks ago, so I think it's back up there after that scan, so it's all right.
But yeah, no, you've been doing awesome. Like, every task we throw at you, you've been sort of knocking down really well, and it's good to have that in our group here, and it pushes a lot of people. Like, you talk about that. Like, how's that feel to just be able to push a handful of people in the gym?
I think the big right when I first joined, you had Dave Schold, we had Brandon kind of come and go, you had Keith, so everybody kind of like had their strengths.
Yeah.
And right, I don't think like Dave, I think was an all-around guy, right? But Keith, obviously he's got his movements that work for him and some that work against him, right? Like, and I feel very similar for me. And I think the way you've programmed recently has been right, specifically looking toward things that most people are weak on to kind of be better. And like, I know when you send out the emails every night, it's like, okay, we want to look at the work. And then some people cherry pick the workout. And I'm like, if I see something I don't like, I want to go that way so I get better. Like, I know I hate running, and I try to show up every time we do the running workouts just to kind of be better in that sense. So that, I think that's the first perspective that I would talk about in that way. The second one is, I think the shift of, right, I used to be an afternoon guy when I first started on a pretty regular basis. And the past few months, right, I've been coming at 9:30 consistently just because it allows, my work schedule allows so. And that shift for me, I think, has been even better, right? Because instead of coming, looking at the board and like seeing what tone was set, it's now, okay, there's not a lot of numbers on the board at that point. And really, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm doing my own calculations. Like today's workout, for example, the 9-minute AMRAP, right? I was looking at it and like, okay, well, 4 rounds is what I want to do. It's X amount of time, and trying to back into the number that way based on what I think I can accomplish versus trying to be influenced by anybody else. And realistically, I think that's been working well for me. And then just wanting to put up a big number to set the tone for the rest of the gym, right? I think that's really what matters.
Yeah, definitely. You're pushing yourself pretty well, man. I dig it. And then it's kind of fun. Like, I'll throw myself in there just to fuck with you a little bit. But
I appreciate it because I still need the humility every now and then as well. So.
Oh, you'll beat me up on all the conditioning workouts. I sandbag all of it because it's not my priority. Like, my priority is
because you decide to come up and just be like, well, for fun, I'm just going to throw 285 on the bar and do a couple of bench presses with it. Like, you're a prick.
Yeah, that's the stuff I like to do is the strength stuff and the bodybuilding stuff and some of it. But the conditioning, I'm a big cherry picker, and I will change the workout for myself because it's not a priority for me to be able to run a 6-minute mile or do certain things. Like, my priority is to build strength and compete in weightlifting. So I tend to just sort of stay at that pace. And a lot of times lately, like, I just don't have the energy to give everything I can to this workout and then still stay here all day and coach people and do goal reviews and send out emails and then meet with people about the gym. Like, I'm just exhausted. Last week we did that bike workout. It was 2 rounds. I was so tired after it that like I didn't want to do anything, and I had to be here for another 8 hours. So by the time, I don't know what was it? Was that Friday? No, it was Wednesday. It was
I think it was Wednesday. Was the one you were talking about, right? Was that the 30, the 50, the 35, and the 10?
No, it was the assault bike, toes to bar, and burpees.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So like that, I really like
the burpees.
Yeah, I really like that workout because I like burpees, and I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah, but you also came out of the gate and let me just do 40 the first round. Like, what are you doing?
I wanted to beat everybody on the board in one round. So
you did a pretty good job, Joe, right?
Honestly, I didn't feel like I was moving that fast on the bike, but I just happened to be moving fast on the bike, which is never the case for me. I suck at all of the bike and rowing and running. Like, those 3 things are torture to me.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you say you hate running, like, you will beat me in running any day because you're 5 feet taller than I am.
I wish it was that case, but I loathe running and like, oh God, no.
Yeah,
like, I'm with you. Like, I cherry pick, like, but at the same time, right? Like you said, right? You'll cherry pick because you have your focuses. My focus is I want to be really an all-around athletic guy. Like, so I don't have a specialization in that sense. I don't want to compete in weightlifting professionally or amateurly or anything like that. I want to just do it all well
and look good and feel good.
Exactly. That's it. I want to maintain my diet of eating like shit and drinking every now and then and just looking okay when I take my shirt off in the summertime or anything like that.
And you do, sir.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So we do have, I know you said previously that you wanted to improve snatching and clean and jerk and stuff like that. So once we finish with this powerlifting cycle, we're going to start moving into more weightlifting oriented stuff for the general fitness side. Mm-hmm. Give or take, we might adjust some things for some people, but essentially we're going to have to gear everybody up for this super total in December and for Marble Mayhem, which I don't know if you've been listening to the podcast and know what Marble Mayhem is or read any of my emails, but
I read the emails. It's my first podcast interaction outside of what you post on the gram.
All right, that's cool. So the Marble Mayhem is going to be like the new Holiday Wars.
Got it. Okay.
So we're bringing it back, 3 weeks of fitness or weightlifting stuff. So we're going to combine everybody, and then the super total for week 4. So it'll be the entire month of December is what we kind of decided as a team, because typically the last couple of weeks I sort of coast with programming, but at least now it makes the last week of the year meaningful, because December 30th, we are throwing down for the super total, and then it's a new year. So we start off
fun. Like, and honestly, Holiday War is the year you did it. So that was not last year, but 2 years ago. It was a fun event to do, right? It brought the gym together, got everybody kind of like the community. And I think that's a big part of why everybody goes toward CrossFit in the first place, is like you have the community and that stuff as well, which is, I think, the other piece that you do really well and the gym does really well is we have a good community of people across a variety of different talents, a variety of different specializations or focuses, and it allows us to really intertwine and kind of feed off of each other and kind of do what we want.
Yeah, and it helps. It's good to have that group. Some people do things a little bit differently. One of my favorite moments, Holiday Wars, involves you. So it was, I don't know, had to be week 1, not week 1. It was maybe week 2 or 3. I think this is the only Holiday Wars you did, right? You only did
Yeah,
one?
it was the only Holiday Wars I did, yeah.
All right, so this is 2021, right? It was a 5 p.m. class. It was you, Zerla, Dave Schultz, Corey, and I think there was one other guy in that group.
Was this the bike and the muscle up workout?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was so mad that I was like working and coaching on the other side that I couldn't like video all of this going on, because it was just like 4 dudes just trying to beat the other guy, and whoever could get off the bike first had the advantage. And Zerla just totally blew up. He was off the bike first and then died.
Yeah.
And then everybody else was just sort of fighting, you, Corey, Dave, and that was so much fun to watch.
That was a good workout, and I think that was just a fun class to be at, because that's like, of the gym itself, I feel like that's definitely one of my core memories of being there and being a part of that. Like, that was a fun time and a fun workout. And you're right, like, it was all of us kind of just pushing each other just to kick the shit out of one another just for bragging rights.
Yeah, and it sucks too, because at the same time you're like, oh, let me just coast through this workout. I just want to get it done. I want to see how it feels first. But then when you got 3 other people who are like, fuck, he's gonna move faster than on this thing. Now I have to move fast on this thing. Yeah. Now it elevates the whole situation. That was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. What's another like fun time you had at the gym, or proud moment?
Honestly, I've had quite a few, because I think realistically, since I've been with you guys, I've been really peaking and kind of pushing my limits as far as everything, right? Like, PR'd the bench press today, which was a nice thing for me, right? I don't think I've hit – I'm definitely at my strongest now. So I think that's definitely a big thing. I think gas tank wise, I have probably one of the best gas tanks I've had my entire like working out career, life in general. I mean, I'm 38, and I'm probably in my best or peak physical shape that I've ever been in my entire life at this point. So, right, just in a testament to anybody who listens that potentially would want to join the gym, it's never too late to start. You guys do a really good job, or you specifically in the coaching staff do a good job of tailoring it to everybody's individual needs or experience levels and skill sets, and that it is not intimidating to really be able to do it.
Yeah, I appreciate
that. So it's a lot of fun. I would tell you one of my other memories, it's not necessarily a proud memory, was the whole box incident that last year. So
yeah, that
wasn't fun, but at the same time, like, great, I got a scar to prove it. So it's, we're there. Now we transition to soft boxes, so it's okay.
So anybody who's listening, Jeff bit the box pretty hard one day. Apparently 30-inch box jumps are too high for Metcons. I now know that, although it just, I think that one just kind of slipped past me. Sometimes
we only had a minute left, and I was going up against Corey, and it was just like, shit, he's ahead of me. Like, let me just jump down, jump up, jump down.
Was Corey there?
Yeah, it was little Corey, and then I forget who.
Well, I know Troutman was there.
Yeah, Troutman and Jackie were there, because Jackie was the one that took me to the hospital.
Yeah. And Justin was coaching.
Yes, Justin was coaching.
Because I was coaching weightlifting, and then Justin just comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Jeff fell." I said, "All right, we'll pick him up," because I didn't know what happened. And then I walk over. You have your hand on your shin, and you take your hand off your shin. And I said, "All right, I guess you got to go to the hospital."
So I'm just like, "All right, let's go."
That's pretty much what's happening. And then you got some stitches.
Yeah,
we all guessed wrong, though. I thought it was going to be a lot more.
You definitely overestimated. You gave yourself a little bit more credit. I'm like, I'm kind of ashamed, though. But at the hospital, they said it was the worst one they saw until Fred had his mishap the other week. So it's all right.
That's the thing, right? Like, your shin was just as bad, if not worse, than Fred's. Yeah. And I saw Fred's. I saw yours. And he got like 27 stitches. You got 11.
So,
right?
So I got 12. Yeah. But
12.
They said at the hospital, the way it was a jagged V cut and things like that, there wasn't a lot of meat to stitch back together. Fred, so they just kind of put stitches and pulled where they could. Like, I guess Fred's, when he got his, I haven't spoken to him in a little bit, but I think they stitched inside and outside.
Yeah.
Right. Me, they just did the outside around it just to kind of pull it back together, and that was it.
There's been a few people that bit the box pretty good. Rick has done it twice.
Yeah.
Rick has done it twice. He came in here and he said, "I don't do the box jumps so good. I always tend to bleed when I fall on them." This is when he first joined. This was like 6 years. If anybody doesn't know, Rick is 77 years old. He's our oldest. He's our second oldest member now. We have someone who's older. She just joined. Good Susie. She's 84. She's awesome.
Good for her.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. She walked
I mean,
in.
it just goes to show you that like you're as old as you feel.
Yeah.
Right.
She's funny, man. She walks in. She's like, well, I'm 84 and I can't keep my balance. So I need to build my strength. I said, okay, cool. Here's what we're going to do. And she's like, all right, cool. I'll be here. See you on Tuesday. All right, cool. So that's been fun. But Rick's been here for like 6 years. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been here for 6 years. He just hangs out in the corner. And when he first got here, he hit the box once, got stitches. Then he did it again, like maybe a month later. And Rick bleeds, man. Rick, like, I walked in one day and there's just blood everywhere. This is an interesting podcast right now. But yeah, this is blood everywhere. And I asked my partner at the time, I was like, what the hell happened? He goes, Rick fell. And Rick comes prepared. He has all the antiseptic stuff. He has all the like gauze. He taped himself up, drove himself to the hospital, and came back the next day.
Hey, at least he's prepared. At least he knows.
Yeah, now he jumps on the softbox that you bought. So he doesn't mess around with the wooden ones anymore.
It's all okay. It's a community box at this point. Let everybody use it.
Yeah, and then I think Gina hit it. There's been a few people that
hit a few of us. Yeah,
hit it. Yeah, the box is fun. So you got to always commit. There's no taking any reps off, guys.
It's always fun until it's not fun, right? I mean, there's never like that warning of, hey, it's not going to be fun in like 2 reps. It's just like it kind of sneaks up on you and gets you.
Right when you like lay back, just that 1 second, that one moment, and then it just goes wrong.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, God damn it. That's why I tell people all the time with deadlifting, man. Deadlifting is probably the number 1 thing that goes wrong. Squatting, maybe number 2. And if you don't brace properly, if you don't connect yourself to that bar, that rep that you take off is, oh man, that's going to set you back like 3 weeks. And it's just, it's annoying. Like Noah's going through it right now. It's a pain in the ass.
I mean, I'm not one to really talk about form with deadlifts here, so it's okay.
No, yeah, well, that's all right. No, you've been doing everything's gone up pretty well.
Yeah.
Bench press looked great today. Your squat's been improving pretty good. And even with the deadlift form, it's still going up.
It's still moving, but it's not right.
It's not really wrong because your back is staying locked in place. It's just that your legs are not really strong enough to hold that position. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like I said the other day, you just need to work from an elevated height just to improve that.
It makes sense. I mean, right? Like I feel like my legs are the missing link to everything that we've been doing. So
we might start doing that. I'll start doing pulls from blocks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I should just come over and work out on the weightlifting side for a little bit too. But
yeah, well, that's available.
Yeah,
we're starting that new cycle in September after the powerlifting thing. Okay. Iron Showdown, September 2nd.
There you go.
Which Jeff is not coming because apparently he has a girlfriend and they want to go do cool things together or whatever. Whatever, bro. Whatever. You're just missing the second powerlifting competition.
I told you I'm not a powerlifter. I'm just an all-around guy. Okay.
It's fun though, man. It's you know what? The last one was fun, but it's always hectic for me because I don't get enough people to help me out with the things, and I don't have enough time to explain how to do things. So it's just me running around, changing weights, loading, explaining this system, going, okay, you need to put your time in. Why isn't that bar weighted on that bar right now? Okay, get this help, spot this person. But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of what the super total is.
I still got some time, so I'm teetering. I'll let you know.
All right, no worries. No pressure. No pressure.
I'm not going to commit here because then I have to obviously do it because this is being recorded. So
yeah, it's recorded. This is like you're signing your life away in blood.
Exactly.
That's it. But yeah, we'll probably hit those heavy singles that week for the people that aren't competing. And then yeah, we'll get you going. What's your goal for this cycle in the next 6 weeks?
I think keeping the consistency is the most important part. Right. I was happy last week. I think I showed up 6 days. So like even including Saturday. So that was fun. Outside of that, I think it's just a matter of not necessarily trying to PR everything, but really focus on getting comfortable under the bar, specifically for like the squats. I would tell you, right? Like deadlift, like I feel like I'm comfortable with. It's not the end of the world, even though my form's not perfect or great, but at the same time, like it's a comfortable movement. Bench, same thing, right? Like been going up well, but I think the squat realistically is where I probably could use that focus because I think there's more efficiencies I could have throughout the movement and kind of working that way. Plus that would help with the legs for just about everything else.
What's your squat at now? What did you hit on Monday?
We did it when we
Monday.
did it Monday. It was 345.
345.
Yeah. So I mean, that wasn't a PR.
What's your PR? What's your
I was
best?
gonna say my last time I really PR like measured anything heavy like that was Holiday Wars, and I think it was 350ish. So not far off from that PR.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we'll get you to
if I probably
fours.
took different jumps, I probably could have did the same weight. But once I did the 345, I'm like, I don't feel like changing plates and going again, and just got lazy.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get you closer to that 4 mark.
Yeah.
And you bench 265. What's your best deadlift?
Right now, 477.
477. All right.
Thank God for those change plates, man.
There you go. So obviously the goal is 500.
That's obviously, yeah. The goal is definitely like the goal for that. Definitely, the goal for bench would be 300 if we can get there, right? Like, just get up to like the respectable big boy weights where it's like, oh, you don't feel like a bitch walking into like a Planet Fitness.
The cool thing about powerlifting is that you can increase your numbers relatively easily because in order to get better at powerlifting, you just do squat, bench, and deadlift. Yeah. Whereas in weightlifting, it's not exactly as linear as that. So like I can do all the snatches and clean and jerks in the world, but my technique might be hot garbage or my strength just might not be there. So if I don't get stronger, those weights aren't going up. And if I do too much of one other thing, then I can't do the weightlifting thing. So it's just a matter of recovery and training kind of smart and just, it's a fucking process. Weightlifting.
Well, like, right, like the Olympic, the weightlifting piece of it, you're entirely right, though. It's that, like, take the strength out of it. If your technique is off in the slightest bit, right, you could be pulled forward, you could be pulled back, you could miss the bar, not get under. Like, there's so many different things that can go wrong or that could screw it up. That, right, like, when we first joined the gym, right, that's why everybody does like the on-ramp classes and things of that nature. It's like, okay, we want to walk you through what the right progressions look like so you are comfortable doing this, and then you're supposed to be able to start tagging weight and so on and so forth. But like, I definitely know, like, that's, I think something like clean and jerk, for example, is like the clean to me is the weakest part of that movement, right? Like or I feel like the front squat piece of that is the weakest part of that movement, right? I can get the weight up there. It's like, am I afraid to get under it? Am I leaning too far forward or whatever? Like once I got it on my shoulders, I'm not afraid to get it overhead or anything along those lines. I think it's more of just getting underneath the bar comfortably in that front rack position. And it could be a combination of mobility and the leg strength, and then just moving from there.
Yeah, there's so many different things that could go wrong with weightlifting. And you're not just, it's not a static lift. So you're not just taking out of a rack, squatting, standing up. It's from the floor. You have to jump around a weight, stand up with it, and then you have to jump under the weight again if it's a jerk. And after that, you're already tired because you had to stand up with whatever amount of weight. Now it's just it's a whole thing. So like when you hit those records in weightlifting, I feel so good. Yeah, because you understand how long it took to do that and like all of the things, and now you did it. Cool, let's do more. Yeah, right.
But like, I'm one of the weird guys in the gym where it's like, right, I love snatching. Like, I don't have the biggest snatch. I don't have the strongest snatch. Like, I'm not like there. Like, my goal is to obviously increase that number, but it's such a satisfying movement. So like you just said, like, great, I just hit a big snatch. It's like, I put more weight on. I want to go again. Yeah. It's like, let's keep going.
Yeah. It's just, it's never ending. Like, real. And you said you're the strongest you've ever been. You're 38. This is the strongest I've ever been. And I'm 36, and I hit clean PR yesterday. I hit snatch PR not too long ago, maybe like, I don't know, 2 months ago.
Good for you.
Blocks. And I hadn't hit records in 6 years.
My turn to ask you, what are you at for those weights?
Ever? Lifetime?
Yeah. Like, well, like, it's PR. So where are you at?
Lifetime snatch is from the blocks 288. Lifetime from the floor is 282.
Okay.
So that one I hit from the blocks, so my heaviest snatch. And then cleans lifetime PR is 345 from the floor. Lifetime clean and jerks 341, and I missed it at the Pan Ams, and it pissed me off. But I'm fat now. I'm going up a weight class because I'm tired of last time I competed in the Pan Ams, I had to run for 30 minutes to make weight, and I'm just tired of doing that. And like the cut is just already annoying. And it's not like I'm doing a lot of work with nutrition, but like I know how to make weight, and I know how to drop weight, and I know what I need.
Metamucil in the water. That's it. That's all you need.
It just wasn't like it's just getting me so close to the number, but not actually getting me all the way down. So I have to always like run a little bit for 20 minutes before I weigh in again. And in weightlifting, you get an hour. So if your weigh-in's at 10, you have until 11 a.m. to make weight.
Got it.
So in December, when we went to Atlanta, I had to run in a hallway for 30 minutes. And then this past one in Florida, I had to run outside for 20 minutes in a hoodie in 80-degree Florida
like the
heat.
old high school wrestling thing, put the garbage bag on you.
Essentially. And it was Murph weekend. So essentially, I did Murph while doing weightlifting. And honestly, I didn't do terribly. I didn't have enough tension to make the snatch on the platform because I just the room was weird. I can't explain it. It was just weird. I would look up and see a bunch of flowers, and I'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" And then I don't know, just
competition, not a funeral. What are we doing?
It threw me off. The wall pattern, like it was a very busy room. I don't know why it just threw me off, and I don't know. It was just weird.
What do they have? Like one of those like the 3D printed wallpapers that looks like those like 3D images you look at with your eyes.
It was just a weird like it was Florida convention hall wallpaper with flowers, and I don't know. I just looked up. It just felt very busy, and I didn't lock into the bar the right way on the snatch, and that fucked me up. But I thought my cleans went really well, and I just missed the jerk because I rushed it, and I was whatever. But yeah, those are my lifetime weightlifting stuff. Lifetime squats, 465. Lifetime, which is gonna get destroyed in the next few weeks. I'm gonna hit something big because I've been pushing it pretty good. Lifetime bench is 335.
Okay.
That was when I was benching every day.
Yeah.
So if I did that, I can push that number pretty good.
Where are you at? Where are you at now for like bench or something like that?
I don't know. I did 285 today in like 3 attempts. So
yeah.
I could have probably pushed it to 305, but not much more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the pause, I think I could have got 305.
Nice.
But I didn't want to push it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like your snatch. I mean, same thing. Like you're right there. You want that 300 number probably so bad.
That's so hard.
I know. Like I mean,
so hard.
Like 12 pounds on a bench press versus 12 pounds on a snatch is an entirely different game.
Yeah, that's so different.
Yeah,
so different. The amount of work that goes into like jumping under 300 pounds versus just holding it and like controlling it down and pushing it back. Oh my god, it's such a different move.
Yeah,
it's not even close. That's why it's like when people don't want to weightlift, like, yo, I get it. It's hard. People that don't want to bench press, like, why? It's the easiest move there. You get to lay down. What's the problem?
That's part of the reason why I haven't come over to the weightlifting side is I don't want to do all the pulls and all the other technique work. I just want to put the weight on the bar and grip it and rip it.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't work that way, though. You have to do so much work.
Yeah, I don't want to get hurt, though, too. So that's the other reason. I got to make sure we do the technique work.
Yes, it's so important. Like the better your setup is, the better you're gonna execute. So that's what, like, even on bench press, the tighter you get and the tighter you can push into that bench and push your legs into the floor. Oh my god, it makes the weight so much easier. That's why it's like the smoother you can make the whole process, the better.
Yeah, I felt that this morning. Like that 265 this morning was. I felt like I had a good setup. I felt like my back was nice and tight on my shoulders were together. My feet were on the ground nice. And when you have that base. You're right. It does move much cleaner.
Yeah. The more you can control the eccentric part, the better the up is going to go, the concentric part. Like you just have to get really fucking tight. Like that's the only way I've ever kind of understood it and tried to tell people how to do that. But you have to feel everything just lock in. And it's just practice all the time. Like, dude, if you walk around, you have to be like, at attention all the time. That's practice. Like I'm practicing that all the time. It's like, no, pick your chest up and just stay tight. While I'm walking around, I'm doing that shit. So
you know, that stick you took out of your ass, put it back in your ass and walk around like that.
Yeah, dude, seriously. Like I do it all the time. And then I'll just walk up to people and just even when they're just standing there. Stop slouching. No slouching.
Is that guy sizing me up? I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah. Just the way, like when you start getting into weird things, like weird technique things, you start doing that while you're just walking around. Like I'll play with where my weight is on my feet while I'm walking upstairs.
It's like Kegels, bro. That's it. Like, right, we're doing it sitting here right now.
Yes, I am practicing doing certain things right now. It's inadvertent. Like I'm not like trying to do it. I'm just doing that.
Yeah.
So the more you do it when you're not lifting, the better it's gonna go when you are lifting because it's just everything just keeps locking in place tighter and tighter. The tighter, the better. Even snatching, the better your position is, the better you can push off the floor, the better you can keep that bar in place. And then like jumping under it's a whole other part of it, but whatever. But yeah, it's you gotta connect to the weight so much more. Be one with the weight.
Yeah.
And it's very hard. And it's hard to really understand that when you're trying to explain to somebody who just started last week.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're right, it is, right? Like you come in and it's like crap, like there's so much to learn, and it's okay, like you're trying to do the basics of everything, and like okay, like it's a marathon, not a sprint trying to learn everything. I'm like, right, I've been working out probably since like 2015, I think was when I first started. So like seeing that progression, understanding that versus like just the ego lifting or worrying about those types of things, right? When your mind's in the right spot, you are focused just 100% better on that improvement, doing the right thing. And when you focus on the right things, you're improving at a quicker pace or a more efficient rate.
Yeah. When you started CrossFit in 2015, or you started working out in general at 20?
Working out in general, like, but
Really?
I started out with CrossFit. Like I tried to do like the stupid like Planet Fitness, Jersey Strong gyms and things of that nature, and like I just couldn't do that. Right? You go in there, it's this overwhelming feeling of okay, crap. Here's everything. What do I do? And then you're like, oh, well, I'm going to go do a couple of curls. I'll go do a couple of leg presses. I'll do a couple of lat pull downs, whatever it is. Like, you know, like there's no guidance and like there's no accountability in that sense because it's just you doing it on your own. Like, and that's what I liked about CrossFit per se was the class structure, the rigidity, like the actual ratio of the coaches to the students and things of that nature, just to really give you that almost really like a one-on-one type of experience, but not that one-on-one piece. And then the community behind it as well, I think, was the other big draw for it.
What brought you into CrossFit? Like, why in 2015 did you start going to a CrossFit gym?
I literally was just like, I had a buddy who was doing it up north, and he goes, "Oh, you should try this." I'm like, all right, I'll try anything twice. Like, all right, so like, let's go. And was it. I found the closest gym to my house, signed up, went there, and was going there for probably about 2 years or so before I moved out toward like Burlington and stuff like that. Before I went to another gym, had a group of friends out there that were doing CrossFit out there. So the gym I actually started out was the Helm. So Mike DeMarco's place, which is obviously he's got Motives now, is where he eventually transitioned everything. But that's where I started when he was in the small spot in Manalapan.
Yeah. Then he moved to that big spot in
Monroe. Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped the CrossFit name.
Yep.
He's doing good. Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to see like people who got their roots starting like the smaller spot, like just being successful and just doing that. And again, like not really the size that counts. It's the quality of the community, I think, and everything that you have there that really is important.
Yeah. No, he does a good job over there, Mike. Good dude.
You guys do a couple of the powerlifting things together.
Yeah, we did weightlifting competitions at his spot. Yep, that was cool. So you start at the Helm, you move to Burlington, and then you move back down here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Right. So when I was out in Burlington area, I worked out at CrossFit Yards, which was in Morrisville, PA. Again, smaller gym, good group of people, like great community and great just camaraderie that was there in the gym itself. Did a couple of competitions there as well, things like that. Nothing too crazy. But they were all like in-house or like sister gym type competitions and things. And then they closed their doors in COVID because of the pandemic and everything like that. Just obviously people couldn't get there. There was all the mandates, the gyms were closed, all this other stuff that was going around. And when I moved back here, right, like, okay, I moved back in December 2020. I'm like, all right, well, I took a month. I'm kind of like stagnant. Like I need to get back in a gym. Like I felt like literally that month off to me was just so detrimental to anything that I was doing, where it's just like, okay, like mentally, like I'm not there, like physically, I'm not there, eating diet wise, I'm not there. Like, and that's, to me, that's the other avenue that I like about the gym and what we have is right. Like it's a great mental, feat as well. Like you're taking all your stress, it gives you somewhere to point it and just gives you some motive to kind of move weight, right? It helps kind of clear the mind and keep you steady.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. This is great. If you could focus on one thing to improve on in the gym, what would you want to focus on?
Like you mean like lift, movement, something specific that way, or?
Yeah.
I would tell you probably snatch, only because like I feel like I'm so close to that 200 number. We haven't
snatched in such a long time.
Yeah, right. That was it. I feel like the last time we did anything with snatches was maybe just some ground to overhead work, and it was okay, do what you want to do. Right. And I'm going to snatch it because that's what I want to do.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing more stuff like that, but I'm gonna give people the option to just do clean and presses and stuff like that, and maybe we'll do clean and jerk work on another day and give people the option to just do deadlifts.
Yeah,
but
we also haven't done many jerks from the rack recently either.
Yeah, well, we're gearing up for powerlifting, so I'm just trying to take away all the wasted efforts and focus on the stuff that's important for the next 6 weeks, so we get people to compete in this powerlifting thing. Because it's fun, honestly. Like the competition was really fun last time. It went really smoothly. I mean, as smooth as it could have gone. And yeah, I want to do it again. I don't think it was a lot of fun.
Well, I see the things you post on Facebook teaching people how to appropriately load bars with the colors of the plates.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep up with all this YouTube stuff. It's so much work. Like I don't have time to make all the videos that I want to make. Yeah, and provide all the information. So I like these podcasts, these long form stuff, so that people can get introduced to our members, our community, and sort of get an idea of what we're doing in here. So I kind of like that more. I think it represents us a little bit better. And if I can throw in an extra technique video here and there or some mobility stuff, cool. But for the most part, it's been like Instagram and MarbleCast. That's been my primary focus.
But you know what, the content you have been putting out has been very, I don't want to say it's not aggressive, right? It is definitely warm, welcoming content, right? It's okay. Hey, look, here's our members. We're approachable. Like, just come hang out. Yeah. And for anybody who's listening, that's exactly what I would tell you. Is like, it's a good community. Just pick a class, show up, say hi to somebody, and nobody in that gym is going to be an asshole or bite you or anything weird. Like, we're all a decent bunch of human beings, I'd like to think, and everybody's got their little niches and triggers and stuff, but everybody's willing to get along. Yeah, that's been like pretty cool about our gyms. Like there hasn't been too much drama at all, really. The drama has been very minimal, and we have a good group of people here. Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, you guys you host a couple of parties and stuff like that throughout the year, right? I know we have one earlier in the year, one around Christmas time and stuff like that. I know a bunch of the members and stuff like that throw barbecues. Like I know I've done a barbecue or two here or there, party here or there, and everybody does them. So it's just fun to kind of have that community outside of the gym and just see people outside of the gym too, versus just hanging out in gym clothes all the time. Yeah, I agree. It's been fun. It's fun to hang out at your house too. You have the party. Kids running around. It's good. Yeah, we'll bust out the margarita machine again. It's all right. Oh yeah, we have to get back to Jeff's house for a party, man. When's the next summertime? Dude, the business summertime this whole year has been just like, one, every weekend's raining, and two, it's just every weekend's packed with shit. There's so much stuff to do every weekend. Yeah. Yeah, man. We gotta get back to that. That'll be fun. All right, Jeff, I got one last question for you. Yeah, go ahead. Give me one quick second. Sorry. Holding, please. The dog just went under my desk and unplugged my power strip, so sorry. All right, my last question for you, Jeff. What is your perfect day? Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, I'll give you a little bit of context here. We're going to imagine that you have all the money you need to have this perfect day. So maybe you're still working, maybe you're not working as much, maybe you work on your perfect day a little bit, maybe you don't. What time do you work on a perfect day? What time do you? I would work on a perfect day, but it wouldn't be exactly the same work. I still would definitely lift though. What time are you waking up? What are you eating for breakfast? Are you working out? Are you just going to the beach? What's up? Oh man, perfect day. That's. I feel like there's a couple of, like, I feel like it totally depends on the mood when you wake up, what you're in the mood for, right? Like there's a couple of perfect days in my mind like that, right? Like, is it like a perfect vacation day, or is it like a perfect, like, just hanging around the house type day, like a weekend, or like what it like? So say like not necessarily, and it could be a vacation day, but what would be like your perfect day if you could live that day every day? Honestly, like, I do think Saturday would be the day I'd want to live every day. All right. So I'm waiting for that retirement to come kick in now at this point. But like realistically, it's like wake up probably around like 7, not too late that like you feel, or not too early that it's like shit, I'm up. Like I want the sun to be up before I'm up 100%. But at the same time, like still want to be able to take my time in the morning. Definitely working out, which I like the morning workouts, right? Like, so probably work out around like 9 o'clock or so. Breakfast wise, pork roll, egg, and cheese on everything bagel, salt, pepper, ketchup, and hot sauce. Let's go. There you go. After that, probably it would either be like one of two things. It would either be going to a beach and just chilling on the beach with like friends, right? Barbecue and that type of stuff, or hanging out at the backyard, right? Like by the pool, something relaxing like that. Like that's what Sam and I have been really trying to do these few weekends is like, okay, like let's take time, just relax, like enjoy what we have. Like, right. Like we're blessed to have so much and fortunate to be where we are. That is just like great. We have great friends. We have, all this stuff. It's like we like hosting barbecues. We like doing that type of stuff. So we want to keep doing that. And then from there, it's okay. Well, like, have a nice little relaxing dinner, sit on the couch, watch a little TV, and then go to bed at that point.
Awesome.
Yeah. Food-wise, man, anything Asian, anything Oriental, anything Korean, like perfect. That's right up there as far as food goes for like that meal.
Do you prefer Thai or Korean?
Oof, I probably would say Korean over Thai.
Okay.
Thai's good, but I just feel like when you look at like Korean barbecue, and I feel like that's just superior.
Nice. Nutrition Kitchen just put out some Korean steak, and it was banging.
Sam and I were just talking about placing an order for this week. So
there you go. Use code always hungry for 15% off or 10% off your first order if you're going that route. Awesome. Other than that, Jeff, man, thank you for being on our MarbleCast.
Always a pleasure, Joe. I'm pretty sure I'll see you tomorrow morning, all right?
Awesome. I will be here, sir. It's going to be awesome.
You
all right, guys.
Brother.
Thank you for listening. Age is inevitable. Weakness is not. So get out there and live some shit. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Thanks for listening to today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Check out all of the information on the Iron Showdown in the links below. And if you have any questions, shoot us a message at marbleweightlifting@gmail.com, and we'll do our best to answer. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.